So let's talk about thoughts and feelings. Thoughts versus feelings. And why is everybody being controlled so easily? And no matter how much information is available, or what you show to them, or how hard you try to speak to them, they are not listening. The problem is that people are feeling and mistaking it for thinking. And because they're feeling and they're led by their feelings first, they don't hear what you're saying to them. Let me see if I can give you a real world example. Okay? Let's say two men are going to fight, right? One guy is really strong. He's stronger than the other one. What can you do? Now, all your life you've heard people say things like, "Oh, don't make that guy angry, because when he's angry, nothing can stop him." The truth is that if I'm going to fight a guy, I want him to be angry. I'll try to make him angry. I'll say things to make him angry at me. I want him to put everything that he has out in one big burst so that he blows all his energy out. Because when he's angry, he's not thinking. And when he's not thinking, he doesn't conserve energy. He doesn't attack properly. He doesn't make decisions. He just gets angry and does. Well, that's what's happening with us, but it's not just anger. It's with all our other feelings as well. So let's take a look at patriots, okay? From the time you're young, you're taught to be patriotic about your country. You're taught to take pride in your country. And what this does is it appeals to your feelings. And that's why so many people are loyal to their countries, even when their governments are doing clearly horrible things over and over and over, despite the fact that they're doing those things and that their government is not good. It doesn't treat them well. It harms other people, harms other countries. Because they have this pride and this feeling, they ignore all that. And they just take pride in their country. So they're appealing to your feelings, right? They're doing the same thing with what's going on now, with appealing to people by keeping everything safe, right? People want to keep other people safe. Nobody wants to, well, not many people. Most people generally want to help other people. They want to care about other people. They want to feel like they're a good person, like they're helping other people. So regardless of what you say to them about what's being done, they're not going to hear that part because what they're doing is good and they feel like it's good. It makes them feel good. They like it. Everything in our society is basically based on this. If you would look at stories or movies or music, everything appeals to emotion because emotion feels good, right? Even our food, the amount of times we eat makes us feel good. Music has lots of bass because that appeals to our feelings. Everybody just wants to feel good all the time. And because of that, they're not thinking. Even our consumer-based society, that appeals to our feelings as well because people enjoy getting new things. They like getting presents. You know, they're taught to look forward to Christmas because that one time of the year, they get all this stuff. And it feels great. My parents love me, or whatever. They think Santa Claus did it. Santa Claus loves me, right? But this is teaching to follow your feelings. And all the biggest, most popular people, like Oprah. Wow, Oprah, right? Follow your feelings. It's always follow your feelings. Look for your soulmate. When you fall in love with that one person, you found the perfect person and they love you and it's not about that at all. Having a relationship is actually about choosing the right person, loving them despite their flaws, and working through the problems that you have. That's how people stay together for the rest of their lives. It's not because they meet somebody and they feel good every day for the rest of their life. It's childish, is what it is. The problem is that people aren't growing up anymore. They're not maturing. So they can't teach their children to mature either. This isn't taught in school either. In school, it's taught to go towards whatever makes you feel good. That's the career that you should do, right? You like doing this thing, that's what you should do. In reality, what you should do is work so that you can eat. My life was completely ruined for most of it. I didn't start seeing any of these things until my mid to late 30s. I was pretty much a bastard the rest of my life. And I didn't realize, and even today I still struggle daily with my emotions, because I'll get angry or I'll be fearful, and I can't stop it, and I'll make decisions based on it. I know it's wrong, but it's hard for me not to do it because feelings are so strong. This is why Scripture told us that the heart was deceitful above all things. Now, people take offense to that, but they shouldn't. It's not saying you're not supposed to have feelings and that feelings aren't a good thing. What it's saying is that if you are led by the flesh, by your lusts, by your feelings, that you'll always be taken in the wrong direction. Now, if people were thinking first, they would just look at their government and be like, you people are horrible. We don't support you. We don't support the troops. You're over there killing people for nothing. What the hell are you doing over there? Why are you sending our boys there to die for nothing? For financial gain. And they wouldn't participate. So all the political figures we see when they come in, they're doing the same thing. It's always appealing to feelings. Like Obama when he came in. What was his slogan? It was something about, yes, we can. That's what it was. He kept saying that, yes, we can. And then people kept playing it backwards and saying it was Hail Satan or something like this. I don't know about that, but anyway, yes, we can. It's such a simple thing, right? But what is that? What did that phrase do? That appealed to people's feelings, and they were just like, we love this guy because, yeah, we can do it. They're not thinking, they're feeling. If they were thinking, they'd look at him and they'd be like, this guy's the same as everybody else. He's an asshole. But they didn't do that because, yes, we can. They're part of something. They're part of the group. We're doing it. We're making change. That's the same thing that protests do. It's likely why there was that big movement in the 60s that popularized protest. It is literally the only ineffective way of making change happen. Going down and peacefully protesting to people who aren't listening to you in the first place. Why would they listen to you when you're protesting? Because you're yelling or you're holding up signs. They want you to do that. Because as long as you're doing that, you're not dragging them out of their office. You get it? They want you to feel. They want you to follow your heart. Because if you follow your heart, you'll be led around by the nose, and they can always mitigate any sort of damage as long as you're not thinking. Let's say you do stumble onto something and everyone gets angry about it. Well, if they're still following their emotions, all you got to do is redirect that. So if somebody is thinking and they have a solid foundation, they're not going to budge. Period. You're not going to be able to convince them. They won't listen. That's the difference. If they're feeling, whatever else comes along that makes them feel good, they'll just go that way. All right, we did it. We're good. They didn't do anything. They just went the other direction. And then the people that were doing the thing that they were upset about in the first place just continue right on doing it. Because they're thinking. And when they go to school, they're taught rhetoric. Rhetoric is persuasion, right? There's a whole bunch of rhetorical devices that are used in order to persuade people. It's the same as like a rhetorical question. I might ask you a question, but I don't actually want an answer. I'm using the question to make a point, and I'm doing that to make you think in order to persuade you, right? There's repetition. There's all sorts of aspects to it. Speechwriters do it. They're very good at it. They're one of the only professions that's in the public that still learns rhetoric. Speechwriters, high-level speechwriters for politicians. So now here we are with all this that's going on. All the truth is being put out. All the lies are being put out by the same people. One day they say one thing, they tell you the truth. The next day they say something else, and then they just mitigate it by appealing to your feelings. And they know it's going to work because most people are following their feelings. Every movie you watch, every song you listen to, all of it's based on your feelings. Every commercial, from the time you're little. And all the stories that everybody loves is about following your heart, looking for your soulmate. Nobody is growing up. Nobody is maturing. Because mature people spend their time thinking and using their knowledge and their thoughts to keep their emotions in check as much as they can. Because they understand that our emotions get in the way and make us do really stupid things. You know this if you think back in your life. Everybody does. They'll do something stupid and then they'll be like, oh, I was just angry. I'm sorry, I was really angry. Now, if you took a minute to observe these things that you've done in your past, you'd realize that you're not thinking properly when you're really emotional like that. That's the whole reason why you need to think and keep your emotions in check. Emotions are good, and we should have them, and we should enjoy them. We should love them. But you can't live your life by them. Children do that. And you wouldn't want children running things, would you? Because it would turn out extremely badly. As it has. I mean, it really has all gone wrong. And because these things have been removed from not only the education system, but from the people themselves, none of the children are being taught by their own parents. Their own parents don't even feel like they have the ability to teach their own children. So they offload that responsibility to the state. The horrifying state that experiments on its own people and does all these repeatedly caught doing all these things. Why would anybody put their children in the care of these maniacs? Because they have the feeling that it's the right thing to do. And this is constantly pushed. This is where group thinking comes from and how socialism rises up. Communism, communitarianism, whatever you want to call it. All it is group first thinking instead of individual first thinking. We weren't made in groups. We were made as individuals. And it has to remain that way. If you change it, everything goes wrong. Because then the group stops thinking about the individual. The needs of of the many outweigh the needs of the few. What if you're one of the few? What if you're one of the few? Do you not matter? Because those people say you don't? Because they feel like you don't? I think it was, what's his name? I think it was Sowell, Thomas Sowell. I heard a quote from him once, and he said that there was a problem. The problem with society wasn't that there wasn't enough information or that people weren't educated enough. It's that they weren't thinking at all, that they were feeling instead and mistaking their feelings for thinking. And that's the truth. That's what's happening. And it's also why no matter how much truth you put in front of someone's face, they won't see it because they feel like what they're doing is right. And it makes them feel good inside to be part of what's going on. You can show them the truth, and what is their reaction going to be? It'll be laughing, mocking, and scoffing. That is the reactions that happen when somebody is feeling and not thinking. You can tell them the truth and they'll just laugh and scoff and mock. Because they don't have any information to dispute what you're saying, but what they can do is make fun of you, laugh, mock, and scoff. And if you look at politics today and media, even mainstream news, it's all laughing, mocking, and scoffing. All the biggest celebrities laugh and mock at each other and at people. In movies, everything is sarcasm, low level humor, you know? Sarcasm, potty humor. What do they say? Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. I like sarcasm because I grew up in this bullshit as well. And it's taken a really long time to see through any of it, and even longer to be able to express it in any way. And I got to tell you, it's not something that makes me popular. Like, I remember going to church, and I would get angry because I'd go to church and the pastor and the people there, they'd be like, "Your family here, man." I remember this little tiny man, effeminate pastor guy, and he'd run up and hug me, be like, "You're family here, man. You're totally accepted." And I looked at him and I said, "Why are you calling me family?" He said, "Because you are family." I said, "I've never been to your house, bud. Can I come to your house and have dinner? What if I didn't have a place to stay for a night? Would you let me stay there?" Like in scripture, where when Jesus and the disciples and stuff, wherever they went, people took them into their homes and fed them, gave them shelter. Would you do that? Needless to say, I wasn't very popular because when I would say stuff like this, they wouldn't know what to say back. All they would know was that it hurt their feelings. And all they care about is their feelings. Their own feelings. They don't realize that they don't care about you. Because them behaving that way makes them feel so good. So obviously it must make you feel good. And everybody around them, well, they feel good too because they're a part of it. Even though when things go wrong, they're not actually family and it's all lies. And they're sinning by doing that. They're hypocrites. People are hypocrites. And I'm trailing off a little. You need to think first. Because if you don't, if you follow your heart and you follow your feelings first without thinking, people can make you do anything that they want, and they are. Look around. Do you think people are wearing these things on their faces every day because it makes sense? They're doing it because it feels good. It feels good that they think they are making everyone else safe. It doesn't matter that it really doesn't feel good. The reality doesn't matter. The feeling, the good feeling they have about it is what matters. That's it.